Hey, Margie here. Welcome to the Wake Up, Pray Up, Boss Up podcast, the show that helps Christian moms prioritize their physical and mental health so they can boldly step into God's calling. I'm your host, Margie Ruiz. Hey, Margie here. Welcome to another episode of the Wake Up, Pray Up, Boss Up podcast. Let's just say today's episode is straight from my heart. This message was inspired by something my youngest daughter learned and shared with me recently. She said, "You're born alone, you die alone. So you better get okay with you in between." And wow, did that hit me. Does it hit you? You come into this world by yourself, and one day you'll leave this world and stand before your Creator. And in the middle of all that, your choices, they matter. It's not about being alone in a sad or scary way. It's about getting aligned, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and who you're living for. And that's what we're diving into today. Let's get started. Wake up. The journey to yourself isn't a straight line. I want to share something very personal. My parents separated before I was born. From what I've been told, I was conceived during a brief moment of reconciliation. But it didn't last. I grew up hearing that I was an oops, an accident. My parents ended up staying together for 11 years after that, but then they ended up getting divorced. I didn't realize until a few years ago at a seminar that I attended that those words, "you're an accident," "you're oops," "they stay together for you," they shaped me. I'd live like I had something to prove. I graduated from high school early. I graduated from college early. I never stopped moving, achieving, doing. Because somewhere deep down, I believed I had to justify my existence. Even in my marriage, even as a mom, I was always running. Not out of peace, trust me, but out of pressure. Can you relate? Who has spoken in your words that are just not true? It wasn't until I truly slowed down and spending time in quiet with myself and with God that I started to hear the truth. Friend, we need to hear our own thoughts. Time to sit in silence and say, "God, what do you say about me?" Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? Galatians 1:10 really spoke to me this week. It says, "Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would never be a servant of Christ." Let that settle in. If we're constantly chasing approval, we're going to miss God's assignment. I've had people ask me, "Why are you limiting your podcast and coaching the Christian moms? You could reach so many more women." But here's the thing. This is who God told me to serve. So when I face Him one day, I want to say, "I heard you, I trusted you, and I did my best to follow you, even when it didn't make sense to other people." I chose a great quote for the week. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living somebody else's life. That's from Steve Jobs. Mic drop. That one says it all. Are you living your life? Or are you living someone else's life? Or someone's dream for your life? I want to share with you 3 clicks to get okay with you in between. Click number 1, wake up. Ask yourself, who am I without the noise? Who are you when no one's watching? What thoughts do you keep avoiding? What truths have you been too busy or afraid to hear? Getting okay with you starts with waking up to what's true. And sometimes the truth only shows up when we slow down and get quiet enough to hear it. Here's a challenge for click 1. Spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes in stillness today. Ask God to remind you who He created you to be. Click number 2, you're going to pray up. Stop trying to earn what God already gave you. You don't have to hustle for worthiness. You don't have to earn your way into God's love. You don't have to prove you deserve to be here. You already are, and you already do. When you stop trying to perform and start praying, God meets you with peace. One of my favorite ways to reset is the 10-5-5 formula. 10 things you're grateful for, 5 things you need to let go of, surrender, and 5 prayer requests. It only takes 5 minutes, but it changes the way you think for the entire day. If you haven't gotten it yet, go download it at margieruiz.com. Click number 3, boss up. Let go of the fear of what people think. Sis, perfectionism is the lowest standard. Done is better than perfect. Your people will love you with the mess, and the ones who don't, they're not your people. I care what I think of me. I care what God thinks of me, and that's enough. Do I fall short? Every single day. But like a child learning to walk, I'm not giving up. I stumble, I get up. I fall, I try again. Because I believe when I reach the end, I'll be able to say, God, I tried my best. I walked it out. I trusted you. Your challenge for this? Ask yourself today, what have I been holding back on because I'm worried what people might think? And what would I do if I only cared what God thinks? Friend, you were born alone, and one day you'll leave this world alone. But in between, that's where the good stuff happens. That's where you decide who you are, how you show up, and who you're living for. So get okay with you, the raw, real, unfinished version. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. God already called you worthy. Let that be enough. If this episode blessed you, share it with a friend who needs this reminder. And wherever you are in your journey, keep waking up, praying up, and bossing up. You've got this. God bless. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Hey, if you enjoyed the episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Shout it from the rooftops. Leave a rating and a review. You know, all the things. And to catch the latest from me, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at margie.gp6 or go to my website at margieruiz.com and make sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Bye.